Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free, impartial advice on all your debt.
Oscar BEVIS, IFL, TV, MTK Global. Delighted to be joined. Well, I would say delighted, perhaps not in these circumstances, but my good friend, boxer, trainer, model, and all-round good guy.
Model.
Mate, come on, we see the Instagram.
Viddal, not me, man. Man, I've been better. Honestly, you smile through the pain. You know what they say? You're gonna go through the pain anyway. So why cry through it when you can smile through it? It's still pain. So that's where we're at now. We're just today's the fight. So it's a shit day. You wake up and you're like, why am I waking up here? I should be waking up nervous about walking to the ring and fighting, but instead I'm not. I'm talking to you instead. But I'm playing. Honestly, it's shit, man. It's not great. But the injury at the end of the day is not to be taken lightly. Back injuries, your back controls everything, man. If you ain't got that, you haven't got anything. It's not my hand we're talking about. It's not a shoulder we're talking about. Things where you can just box handicap, jab more than throw your right hand today. It's not that. It's movement, avoiding punches, and all the little reflex habits that I have to avoid and lean out the way of a punch. If that's killing me, I'm not even the fighter I am. It takes away from my game. And at this level and as a professional, you can't have these shaky performances, and you can't have a loss and then have the excuse, oh, my back was bad. I told you guys. If it's that bad, don't fight, because no one will say the excuses afterwards. So that's why I made the decision I made. That comes with its backlash, but I'm still undefeated and still can continue my career with a win as a 100% healthy fighter next time I step in.
Whole first, 100%. But this injury, is it something that you feel could put your career in some form of jeopardy, in the long run? I know it's a repeated injury which forced you off the Tank Gamboa card.
Yeah. If not treated, it will end up ending my career. Not because you're going to see me in a wheelchair to go into an event, but being an athlete, it will be the end of my athletic life. Yeah, I'd be able to sit down and record a YouTube video, but when it comes to being athletic and being able to do all the movements that require me to be a fighter, over time, that would have to stop, because it has got worse from last year to this year. Last year, I didn't even speak on the injury because I didn't think it was going to be something severe. I just said, look, I've got a little injury, but team is thinking ahead, pull me out. I ended up fighting with the injury in February. We had the lockdown period, so it was hard to really gauge because everyone's in training intensity went down. No one's really preparing for anything. I'm thinking, you know what? A few sessions, okay, not bad. The moment training becomes consistent, it becomes hard, and you're training, you're doing your sprints, then you're doing your boxing, and then you're doing sparring, and then once you're training at that intensity, my back is giving out on me. I trained with that injury for 4 or 5 weeks straight, and it took for the team to say, nah, you ain't doing it. Because once I have a fight, I just tunnel vision in on that fight. I'm just like, well, you're the next opponent, so we got to get in the ring. But as I said, I have wise people around me. I have a good team around me, and yeah, they made the decision. You're not doing it because you have a bright future, and we can't damage that for the sakes of one night.
I think what confused a couple of people, and certainly confused me, was that you'd been COVID tested, you'd done your press obligations.
Yeah.
Was this niggling during sort of the training process, or was it all very sudden? Because you nailed on to fight. It was all done.
This was happening throughout. It's just something I was going to fight through. But this has been happening. When I was at the press conference, my back's hurting when I'm sitting down there. You know, when I'm doing the press, and the marketing shoots is hurting. It's something I've been dealing with that I've been trying to dismiss and not give it the significance that it deserved. Because now look, I'm in this position where I'm pulling off the card. It's the second time I pulled out from a fight because of injury. And it wouldn't be the last time if I had this fight today, because I wouldn't have given it the time. And I'd always keep progressing and giving myself better opportunities and then not wanting to turn those opportunities down. So then I'm always going to fight with that injury until me and you have an interview for a world title fight. And I'm like, oh, by the way, I might not be able to box anymore. Nah, I'd rather do it the other way around. So I'm making the hard decisions now because I understand how the game works. And I understand that once I get back, I can't be injured again. Unless someone sees me on death's bed, I'm not allowed to say I'm injured. That's just how the sport works. So you might as well take your full MOT now and come back properly, because we don't want to hear this injury stuff from you again. And I understand that. So I'm taking my time out. I'm going to enjoy my time, getting better, rehabbing, and getting back to being dangerous, because I know my capability. I just don't take the sport for granted and understand that I can't do it at 70%, 60%.
I feel like there will be people who understand why you might have had it run through your mind that you can fight through it. A kid from Tottenham, West Ham Boxing Club as a kid, you end up fighting on a Mike Tyson undercard, in your 5th professional fight. Was it ever serious? I know you said people around you made the decision, but did you ever go, you know what? Yeah, I am going to do this, and sort of stamp some authority on it, or was it always just I might not?
No, none of these decisions are ever, oh, you think you shouldn't fight? Okay, fine. If that's what you think. There's back and forth, and then my dad has his opinion, and then my manager has his opinion, and then Jeff has his opinion. Everyone decides that what their input is and how we should deal with it. But ultimately, what it comes down to is me. It's my career. I'm taking the punches. I'm the one with the bad back. I'm the one that has to announce that I'm not fighting and take the shame of it. It comes down to me. So then you look at all these decisions, all these opinions, and you're like, all right, what one is best for you? And what was best for me was not to fight. The injury is one aspect, but being a professional, being around the people I'm around, you learn so much, you see so much, you start to become wiser, and you start to realize that the ultimate is yourself, and you need to think about yourself. And by not fighting, I'm thinking about myself. You think about Tyson, you think about Roy Jones, you think about Triller, and you think about all of these things and the pay-per-view and BT Sport. But their life goes on at the end of the day. Their life goes on, and mine needs to go on correctly also. So I made my decision, and I have to be a man, stick by it. Have I wanted to change my mind loads of times since making a decision? Yes. But it's got to be a man, stick by it, understand, and have faith in my decision. That's it, man.
I know you said it was tough waking up this morning. Can you enjoy today in any capacity? Because for boxing fans, if you start in the UK with Daniel Dubois and Joe Joyce, it's one of those plonk yourself on the sofa for the night sort of things, and then it rolls over to the States with Mike Tyson and Roy Jones. You on the undercard. Can you enjoy this night of boxing at all, or is it always that bittersweet feeling?
I'll enjoy the Daniel fight, because I was never involved in that anyway. But it's something that I would enjoy seeing. So yeah, definitely. The Tyson and Jones card, obviously I want to see Badu do well. He's someone I see firsthand preparing for this event. And the guy he's fighting is a little bit cheeky as well. So I'd like to see how Badu deals with him. Tyson and Jones, yeah, obviously I'm interested to see it, but like not as much as Daniel and Joyce, for example. but still something that I can't believe people our age are seeing. Like, they're back in the ring. You're actually going to be in the ring. Like, Tyson's going to run across in his black shorts and fight. Like, it's kind of crazy. But I'll be able to watch it and enjoy it. I'm not a bitter person. I'm not one of those people that's going to be rotting at it. Like, I don't take boxing that personal to be rotting over it. I take my back personal, I take my injury personal, and I'll be upset over that. But it's not going to stop me from watching an event and appreciating the production and the talent and what's being presented to us, you know.
Before I talk about what's next for you, you got to spend some time in the company, Mike. What's he like? I feel like that's the $1 million question. Everyone wants to know what time's like in the company of Mike Tyson.
Well, let me try to fix this camera. Yeah, I think that's a bit better.
There we go.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
It depends on who he wants to be to you. That's the thing. I feel like it's one of those questions. To me, he's cool because I'm just a young guy who he sees in a sport that he's been a part of, was at the top of when he was my age. And he's looking at it thinking, don't rush your career. Don't trust too many people. You know, honestly, giving me the nice way, the nice path that I can take if I listen and hang around the right people and just don't take the same path he did. So who's Mike Tyson to me? A wise legend who decided to take his time out of his day to talk to someone who's completely irrelevant to him, just out of being kind and just out of the fact of I'm in his space, so he's going to give me some of his time. So yeah, Tyson, that's Mike Tyson. That's the Mike Tyson I know. And I'm sure if you ask 30 people, you get 30 different answers. But from me, that's Mike Tyson.
I said I want to talk about what's next for you. Obviously scheduled in originally to fight Rashad Coulter.
Yeah.
No, you're not fighting him. The show goes on for him. His replacement is Hasim Rahman Jr. He's a bit of a face in the MMA scene, I think formerly the UFC, Rashad. But whether it's him or Hasim who come out on top tonight, you want the winner and you want him next year?
Yeah. Well, they're not fighting anymore.
Are they not?
No, because Hasim Rahman got COVID.
Did he? When was that? I've managed to avoid that.
Yesterday.
Oh. Well,
Yeah.
see, you and Rashad for early in 2021 then, I suppose?
Yeah, that's what I mean. No one's supposed to be taking my spotlight, Oscar. No one's supposed to take the realest spotlight. If I ain't having it, no one's having it. But jokes aside, I hope Hasim Rahman is well. Jokes aside. Because yeah, we understand that's not a joke. So I hope he's doing well. I hope he's fine. And I hope that he's back in the ring soon also. Rashad, I feel sorry for him because he's trained hard, not only planning for me, but then to have a last minute replacement, for the last minute replacement to pull out as well. I do feel for Rashad, and he's been nothing but polite. He's been nothing but respectful towards me, and I always appreciate that. So I want to apologize to Rashad. You know, I know how much it goes into training and preparing, and I'm sorry that this event hasn't, prospered into anything for him. But I'll still fight Hasim Rahman Jr. next, and I still fight Rashad next. Honestly, I find it amusing people think the opponent was part of my reason to not fight, because I'm like, come on now. Like, I respect the guy, but I honestly don't care.
Yeah, if we're being completely honest, for someone who wants to go and achieve in boxing, if you're pulling out of a fight with a man of the boxing experience of Rashad, you're not going to get to that level. This
is what I mean. Like guys, you got to come on. Like, sparring with Baddy Jack, sparred with Dillian White, sparred with Daniel Dubois, sparred with all these Lawrence Okoli, Richard Riakpo, like fought Chris Smith. Like, you guys think I'm going to be pulling out a fight with Rashad Coulter? Be serious. Come on. I find that amusing. But to prove it, because life is about proving, not just talking, I will fight Rashad next, or Hasim Rahman Jr. next, or whatever next.
Just finally on the back, I know you had an injection earlier in the year, which anyone who watched your YouTube video would know. Is it going to be another injection? I don't know. Like, what do we do now?
We're not doing the injections. We've done the injection. I hope it would heal me over time. Clearly, it didn't do anything. Wasted my money. So what we're gonna have to do now is the longer fix. That was a quick fix, really. Oh, where's it hurting? Where do you get the pain? There, needle, bang. Give it a couple months, you'll be all right. No, now we're doing full rehab, 3-4 days a week, reformative exercises, stretching, massage, cupping, yoga, everything. Like, we're really giving the back. I'm basically in camp of rehab. That's how it feels. So all the sessions I'd normally be using to learn, like, all right, let me get my jab right, slip, bang, bang, bang. Now I'm doing rehab. I'm doing that, but camp rehab. And then we're going to come back and fight again.
Right for you, mate. Absolutely gutted. Just finally, can you sort of place your hat on what's going to go on tonight between Mike and Roy Jones? It's really strange. I know it's hard to put anything really concrete down on what's going to happen, but I suppose you must have thought about it and played it through and what you imagine is going to happen in there. Or maybe not.
I think it's favoured for Tyson. Everything is favoured for Tyson. As I say to everyone, Ray is my favourite fighter. You see him right there.
Yeah.
And I can't say, Ray is gonna do. I can't do that. But what I can say is he knows that the rules are favoured for Tyson. He's made that clear, and he needs to do his best to stay away from him for a couple rounds and just let him tire out and realize that he don't really want to box anymore anyway. That's what he needs to do. If he gets in there and he wants to give Tyson that adrenaline rush of toe-to-toe, it's going to be sad. It's going to be sad. I don't want it. I don't want to see that. So hopefully Ray is smart. He fiddles him way around and gives us a good little exhibition of him trying to showcase his boxing skills, and not an exhibition match where Tyson runs out and gets out all his frustrations for the last decade and a bit and then wraps it up. I don't want to see that. So,
all right. Well, I remember when I first come down to West Ham and you told me that Roy Jones was one of your heroes. So enjoy tonight. I know obviously it's not in the best circumstances, but thank you for jumping on. Love, blessings. Well done again on the music as well, bringing out.
Thank you.
Is it the third EP?
It's the third one now. Yeah, third one now. Excited. The most tracks I've ever done. So yeah, that's gonna be out December 18th, and hopefully there ain't gonna be no listening party this year. But hopefully, you like it and everyone else kind of takes it in, and that's just one of the things that I do that get me, a little bit of attention now and again. So hopefully it does well.
Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free impartial advice on all your debt.